that.
We might sell out on the table at this one story because of all the trauma we have experienced as parents trying to travel with their kids. It is summertime. There is probably going to be a road trip or maybe some planned vacation you want to go on, or maybe you haven't made a plan and you're thinking of making a plan. This should have come out 3 months ago so you can decide who's going to go on the trip and who's not.
Because usually by now you pretty much
You're
know.
locked in. You're locked in.
July or
Some people are fly by the seat of their pants. They obviously don't have kids.
or they're rich.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to be.
What is
You go tomorrow with a group of people?
When it comes to family trips, what is the worst age to be for a family trip? What is the worst age to take along with you? As a child, what is the worst age? You think, a teenager, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old doesn't care, and they're always annoyed, and they're just in their phone, or
They're not impressed by anything.
I'd say like 12, maybe.
no.
Judging back, I've only got one child, but I think 12 is probably the most difficult.
But is this
Any kind of trip, not
driving?
a road trip. This is any family trip. What is the worst age child? What is the worst age for the child?
I didn't like age 2 and under, like when they had to take naps and that. Like we went to Disneyland with the family, the whole family, and everybody would be in an event, or we'd all be somewhere. Then we have to leave because we have to go put our Ava down for a nap.
Oh, you're
at the hotel, and
I
so you
still
miss
have to
out.
do that.
And then toddlers.
I could bring Kevin with me. They
Kevin
can
has to take a nap.
Take them back.
When they have an accident in the car, oh my God.
Yeah, the diaper
you say
stuff.
You're driving.
That
oh
stuff
yeah.
sucks.
Listen, the age that is the worst is 3.5.
I'll say 3.
And I wholeheartedly agree with that. Because at 3.5, for those who have not become parents yet, or maybe you have a baby, you're like, oh, they're so cute. You've heard about terrible 2s? No, the 2s were not terrible. 3 is a blank hole. For some reason, a 3-year-old is a terrorist that has kept you hostage
And they
in
should
your
know
own
better.
home
They're
about
3.
not cutting the grilled cheese right and losing their marbles over it. And so that is not going to get better on a trip. Also, that child's not going to remember anything.
No.
Anything.
You're spending all this money taking them to some wonderful place, and they're having fun in the moment, but they will never remember it.
It's really the stress level on the parents because it causes them to argue. It causes the whole dynamic to fall apart because the 3.5-year-old, to your point, Eric, about the naps, if they're still napping or they're cranky or
diapers, you have to bring all that equipment.
Or if they're potty training or whatever it is.
To road trips, you got to bring so much stuff. It's great now.
Yeah.
When they're 14, 12. All they care about is have their iPad with them.
I don't know if that's necessarily great.
No, listen, my brother has...
It's all their brand.
Great
for mom and dad.
Right.
But,
So my brother has a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And we were talking about family trips. We're finally going to go overseas to see the rest of our family for the first time in 3 years. And he really wanted to bring his whole family, and they were discussing it. And I said, listen, I had to take everybody in 2017. They were 2, 4, and 6. And I'm still unwell from that trip.
Yeah.
I am still unwell.
Oh, my God.
So your 3-year-old, as much as we love her, don't torture yourselves. If y'all can't bring it all together for all 4 of y'all to come, then you just come with the 6-year-old, magical memories, right? The 3-year-old does not remember. I took my daughter for the first time ever to Disney. It was me, my husband, my niece, my oldest daughter, my youngest. My youngest had just turned 4. Disneyland, Christmas, let's go. I talk about it to this day. She goes, I don't remember that.
Yeah, what were you thinking?
I go, you don't remember?
Nothing.
You were 4 years old. You don't remember anything from
I don't
your
even think
first trip
4.
to Disney?
My daughter
She
doesn't
did not remember
remember
anything.
Because I took her to Hawaii when she was 4. I hiked up Diamond Head, had her on my shoulder the whole way.
I think
the most backbreaking thing I've ever done.
And
it was she was 4 and she can't remember.
Unless you show her photos.
But Disney, you would think the princesses, that's your wheelhouse as a 4-year-old. Like it's the first time you met Ariel as a real person, and no, she doesn't remember.
Still developmentally, it's still good for them, to have those experiences growing up.
Yeah,
it just kind of sucks that they can't remember it.
Well, I had the guilties about leaving my son home because he was not quite 2 yet, and my mom, I remember on the phone, she was like, "Are you out of your mind? You want to take?" He's almost 2. She just turned 4, and the other one is barely 6. Are you out of your mind? Do you just want to be exhausted and have a stroke at Disney? Because it's so much going on.
But you still forget. Like the last couple of years, I've been taking the kids to Disney World for Thanksgiving weekend. Week. And I'm like, right now, I kind of forget.
Is that less crowded?
No, God, no. That's the busiest week of the year next to Christmas between New Year's.
When's the quiet time?
February. I looked this up.
Yeah.
Okay.
February's a good time to go to Disney but some rides might be down for mechanical.
Or probably after
upgrade.
Christmas too. Like after all the holidays are done, everyone has to go back to school.
January, February.
Yeah, but January 20th, I bet is probably.
But you got to look it up because there's a website and they tell you what rides they work on after the chaos has passed because they got to work on some of these rides and maintain them. Anyway, you were saying about every Thanksgiving.
No, I can't myself. I don't remember really. I just remember the feeling we all had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember each day. Like, I don't remember what we did the first day.
No, I know. But even your 3-year-old's not going to remember the feeling they had.
Yeah.
Not all of them. And so they said that's the
Do you
worst
like road
family
trips?
trip age. That's what we're talking about. 3.5 is when kids are the most challenging to travel with. And over half the parents surveyed said because the kids that age throw tantrums, they're easily bored. They've avoided traveling with them altogether. It comes to road trips. You just asked me about that.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
A 7-hour road trip. How many times do you think kids are going to act up, have a fight, ask you when
You're
we're
going to have to stop
there?
at least 3 times for 7 hours.
You know what my parents would do is they would buy us little chintzy gifts. So after 2 hours, we'd get a gift in the car
but
for
if you
being
were
good.
bad?
Only if we were good.
Oh, really?
So there's an
So your mom had like
incentive.
an arsenal bag full of little
She
gifts.
did.
Oh, that's
She
really
really
And what
did.
else did your mom do? She bought a minivan, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
you each had
Not-
your own row, so you
Not
wouldn't
one,
touch
but
each other?
2. And Erica's right. You needed to separate the boys in row 2 and row 3. Otherwise, it'd be kick.
He's touching me. He's breathing on me.
Yeah.
He's looking at
That's
me.
my Legos.
Yeah.
And most of us don't get like presents every
It
2
was
hours.
a
on the
chintzy.
car.
Chintzy little
It
gifts,
was
like
a
dollar
little
store stuff.
tiny Lego.
Yeah, it's something.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
You know.
A
For him,
7-hour
though,
road trip,
For
according to
him, it's
science.
right. Here, son, here's a new iPhone.
There's a Fabergé egg. What the hell is this?
So a 7-hour road trip, they broke it down with kids. Includes 18 fights, 14 tantrums, and 22 are we there yet?
That's my wife. My wife does not like road trips. Like,
I
we'll go
hate
to
a
San
road trip.
Antonio. I'm not talking like Destin, Florida. Or,
Yeah.
She's like, no, we'll fly. I'm not dealing with that. She just doesn't
I
like
have done
traveling.
the Destin drive
Maybe
with
because
the
she's,
family.
she's Persian. She's like, I don't want to go through Alabama.
Yeah, you gotta worry about
Yeah, no,
certain
seriously.
areas here in Texas.
She's like, yeah, I don't think I want to stop in those states
No.
in between here and Florida.
I am afraid to drive through Mississippi and Alabama outright. I have already had an experience happen.
Your car breaks down?
When that's when it happened. Is when my car broke down.
Oh.
And then I got into a situation. It was
What'd you
very,
encounter?
it was
Did not
very
take kindly
scary.
to you because you were with your husband. That's what you're saying.
I was not with my husband, but I was with my best friend, and we both had earrings in, and that was the first thing that clued them in. Like, man, you better carry a bat around these parts. You boys got them earrings in. I said,
That's what they said to you?
Those earrings.
yes.
Errands.
Wow.
They didn't
that's
say anything
crazy.
about your little short shorts, your Daisy Dukes.
I mean, they were enjoying that.
Oh my God.
Cheeks hanging out.
Listen, I will tell you this part too. We've driven to Santa Fe, New Mexico into Colorado as a family. And I don't know if I have like PTSD from that because
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
it was cold and there was snow. And every time we stopped, like I would tell my husband, oh, I need something from Walgreens. The kids need some more wipies. And really, I was so scared because it's a really big mountain range. You lose cell signal. And I was thinking, oh my God, if like a fox scares us and we go veer off the road and pop a tire and my husband has to walk to find help, he'll freeze to death. So I need to get him some foot warmers. And also I need to find something
Think
to
of the
fend
worst.
off like snow leopards with if they try and eat us. And so I would go into the Walgreens and Tasso thought I was in there to get wipes. And I was in there looking for like warmers, LED light, flashlights, flares. I was like all
Sword.
these things. I was so scared. I was like safety hoarding.
Now at Costco, I saw they have a survival bag. I think
Yeah.
it was Costco or was I at Target?
So what's it include?
I just had everything from flares to food. Like you could survive with this backpack. It was
Don't
like,
you have to worry that?
50
Okay,
bucks.
for instance, like I've got a 9mm pistol, but certain states you're not allowed to drive in and have a loaded weapon, are you?
you don't want to go to those states anyway. Those states suck.
You got to worry about those kind of things, though.
So if you're planning a family trip and you have a 3-year-old in your life and you have a choice to leave your 3-year-old as much as you love him or her at grandma's house, that is recommended.
Yeah, and it's good bonding for your grandparents. And so, if my parents were alive, I would love to send my kids up to the farm in Illinois. They could just stay there for the summer and have fun.
I know that's the
And
one thing you're
then
missing
we could have
now.
been on a vacation together.
You don't have that because your grandmother's not here anymore, so there is no like summer in the farm.
Yeah.
Same thing with me. My mom would send us to Greece to see her parents.
Yeah, you did that when you were
and
a
we
kid.
got to immerse in culture and language and our family history, but there's no one there to do that for them.
Now I think about maybe it's good they weren't in my hometown. Those rednecks.
Hey, they were just there for they would have been there for a couple of weeks.
don't
We
know.
had great family memories.
you think they're going to be culturally poisoned?
Yeah, maybe it was a good idea not to go back.
All right. Speaking of road trips and kids, let's switch it to this. Earlier this week, Ryan, when you were out, this came up off the air for me and Eric. We were talking about the things that now that we are parents of kids that are getting into the teenage world, the things that we did as teenagers that we lied to our parents in our day. What would set us off if our own kids did that to us
Yeah,
today?
what is
Oh, my
something? So
God.
what is something you did as a kid, but now you're like, oh,
If
this
your
could be
kid
karma.
did it to you, you're like,
I could write a
I'm
book.
gonna kill you. Because I was saying his wife, Negi, and my sister, Kathy, told me later when she was like, I don't know, high school seniors or freshmen in college, no cell phones. They decided at the sleepover, they're going to drive to Austin in my dad's old
so
car.
what age range are we looking at here for these stories?
As a teenager,
probably.
what did you
Okay.
lie to your
Probably
parents
15,
about as a teen?
15 and above.
That if
15,
your
18.
kid lied to you about today, you would just lose your marbles.
Even college, these kids, spring break stuff they're doing.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not looking forward to that.
833-390-KRBE. I'm rewatching Schitt's Creek, and Alexis keeps dropping these little Easter eggs on her parents. Like, when I was in Bali, I had to talk my way out through that checkpoint. He's like, when were you in Bali? You were 14? How'd you get there? What checkpoint? Like, all these things that you don't know. 833-390-KRBE. What did you lie about to your parents as a teenager that you would just lose it if your own kid did that to you today?
You're a hypocrite.
We'll talk to you next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE is back to the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
Okay, we're asking the question, what did you do as a teen that would make you lose your marbles if your own teen did it to you today? Would you lie about to your parents, or what is something that your
Everything.
parents don't know you did?
Everything.
We're going to Jessica first at 833-390-KRBE. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
Morning, Jessica.
How old were you when you are about to tell us this story? In the story you're about to tell us, how old were you?
Okay, so it's about me and my sister. So I was about 11 or 12. She was 13 or 14 because we were in 6th and 8th grade.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you do?
So it was our summer going to 7th or going to 8th, 9th grade, and we were we lived in some apartments, and we went to a vacation Bible school during like a week or two during the summer, and
Usually
they would come and pick us up.
VBS, right?
So
Okay.
yes. So they would pick us up on a bus. Well, we missed it one morning, and it was me and my sister and two of our friends. So we were like, it's not that far. We can walk. So we started walking out of our apartments, but we realized we had to jump the fence to get out. So my sister couldn't jump the fence, and she was stuck. And some man driving by in a white van, he pulled over. And
Oh,
we
my
were
God.
like, hey, can you help us? So he helped my sister down, and he was like, oh, okay. And we're like, and all of a sudden, I just said, hey, can you give us a ride to church? We're trying to get to the vacation.
Hold on, pause
White
this right
van,
there.
blacked
because
out windows.
Hearing just the white van, a man in a white van, is what we are training our children to run from.
Makes me pucker a little bit.
A
like,
man
oh.
in a white van, and you sought him out for a ride.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, he helped. He saw that we were struggling. My sister was struggling, so I was like, she was up there for a minute. We were like, we need help. So he got down and helped us. And after that, I was like, hey, can you give us a ride? So he's like, yeah, sure. So the four of us get in the back of the van, and we're just like, that's when it hit me. And I'm like, what did we just do? So he's
What
like,
was that
well,
ride like?
what are y'all's names? He's like, what are y'all's names? And we're just like, I start lying. I said my name and like a wrong name. And, we're paying attention. There's no windows. We can only see the windshield. Out of
No
his windshield.
windows?
Oh my God, my
No,
heart
it was like
is
one of those-
exploding.
Yeah, it's one of those vans. And
What was in it? Like,
well,
was it
there's
completely
there's
empty?
Tools in the back. There's like tools in the back. We're like, okay,
Hell no.
So we realized, okay, he's not taking us the normal route that we go to the
Uh-oh.
church. So we panic. But I'm telling the story. So we actually make it. We make it to the church. He dropped us off, and we were like, "What did we just do?" So we get to the church. We never spoke about it to our parents.
Your mom to this
But
day,
when
your
we
mom
were-
and dad to this day don't know, or eventually
we
you
didn't
did.
tell them.
Okay.
Like we
As kids.
didn't tell them that day, like that summer. So as we're older, we're hanging out with our mom and we're drinking, and we bring it up. We're cracking up about. Do you remember when we did this? And she was just like, Jessica, and like Jessica, like she just could not
I can't believe she
believe
survived that.
that we got in that van.
I mean,
Wow.
Jessica, I cannot. I
No.
cannot with any of what you just said. And my daughters are exactly that age. The summer going into 7th, the summer going
Any
into
van.
9th.
If my daughter did something like
My
that, Faith,
God.
don't ever tell me, okay? Because
Yeah.
you could be 38, and I don't want to hear that
And
story.
here's
I don't
the
need it.
craziest part, guys. Jessica's parents who are at work thought they got on the VBS bus. They never, if those girls went missing, they would have never known what happened until they did the trail. Like, well, the bus didn't get them. They overslept. I don't know what happened. And there are no cameras. Oh, my God. You are so lucky, girl.
Oh, my God.
They were looking after you that day. You approached a man in a white van for a ride. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're asking the
Just
question.
have one of those vans. You could offer me that van for free. I wouldn't take it.
What's the purpose? Having a
they're
van.
cargo vans for painters.
Okay, but having no windows.
You don't need windows because they'll break if you got
Okay.
cargo in
tools
there.
and
But when
stuff,
they're
yeah.
blacked out, that's weird.
I mean, no, just tinted windows.
It does seem weird.
Like, why would
If it's
you
a
have
business,
a van with blacked out
Why
windows?
do you care? I guess you don't want people stealing your stuff.
Yeah, because we hear about tools getting stolen all the time. So that's why they don't want windows on the van.
They don't want people looking in. Too,
Yeah, and there are plenty of vans that are car. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're getting too deep in it.
All
Okay,
right.
let's go to the next call. 833-390-KRV. You're answering the question, what did you lie about as a teen that you would lose your marbles if your own teen today lied about it? Okay, let's go to another Jessica. Oh, my gosh. Jessica is a very common name, but my God, it's a starred name. I got to go
You
to stars.
Jessicas, what are you doing?
The Jessica. Bad decision Jessicas.
Oh.
Hi, Jessica. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey there. How old were you in the story you're about to tell us?
So this actually is about my sister, and she was 16.
Okay.
What happened?
So we're 4 years apart, and when I learned to drive, my mom was very much, you can't drive on the freeway, you can only drive this far away from home kind of thing. She was very, very strict. By the time my sister turned 16, my mom had bought her a car. My mom was under the impression that she was going to stay the night at a friend's house.
Okay.
In reality, her and that other 16-year-old drove to Fort Worth to go party in the stockyards.
Oh, my God. That's a far drive.
gosh.
That is.
It's like 4 hours.
Oh,
4 and a
To
half.
top it off,
my gosh.
she ran out of gas and had no money.
Oh, no.
my
Wait,
gosh.
she didn't think that far ahead? Like,
And
no,
then?
16, just thinking about going party. So she calls my mom, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and my mom's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And that's when she had to come clean. I drove to Fort Worth, and I've run out of gas. My mom said, "I don't know what you want me to do about it," because this was before Venmo, Cash App, and money could be easily sent.
An Uber Lyft.
My mom was like, you've got to figure it out. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, my
She
gosh.
ended up-
Your mom is hardcore.
I love that.
No.
I
Parents
know.
were like
She's
that.
like, figure it out. And so she ended up sweet talking a stranger into filling up her gas tank to
Oh.
make it back home.
I thought you said filling her up.
No, I know that's what I thought too. Filling up her gas tank. Let's get that
Filling
straight.
up her gas
$20
tank.
you can
yes.
fill my boobs. What?
Right.
Don't ever tell me that
Well,
story.
Mom, you told me to
It
figure it out. I thought you said felt it
And
out.
I wouldn't have put it past her to do something like that either. My sister, she was very wild and carefree when she was younger, and it wouldn't surprise me if she had stories like that
But
too.
Jessica, the fact that she lived to tell the tale that she, at 1 a.m. in Texas on a road trip, ran out of gas and sweet talked a stranger for a free gas tank without doing anything else or
how'd she
being
have
compromised or kidnapped?
No money, and she's going to go party there. Like,
Hey, at least she had a
What
cell
What do you think was
phone.
going to happen? How do you party with no money?
Yeah.
Was there
Pretty
a
girls
party?
don't have to worry about it. The
Yeah,
guys are going to buy them
16 years old,
drinks.
You've got to
Exactly.
16
She
years
was
old?
a beautiful girl, and she could use her looks to get a lot of what she wanted.
Yeah, Roula, you think that just because she's 16 that guys are going to care?
yeah, but to get into places.
To get in the
Oh,
place.
yeah.
I'm saying that's a long journey to go to hope to God that somebody thinks you're 21, lets you into
Like,
a bar,
without my wallet
and then
or
get free
phone, I
drinks.
feel
Look, I was an
naked.
ugly
Yeah,
teenager and I was
yeah.
able to sneak into clubs. Kids do it all the time.
That was a long road trip for a club sneak
Well,
in.
for
She
you,
could have
they
done it
felt
here in
sorry.
Houston.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
You got to let this guy do something.
poor kid. Life's already taken
Shut from him.
Jessica, that is terrifying, and I would lose my marbles as well. I don't know what I would do in that situation. I'm glad your sister got home safe. This is craziness. I don't know, y'all. There were so many starred calls.
Yeah,
Seven.
the one there's one over
Marie?
text too
Oh,
that I have
look,
to
they're
tell
all
you.
saying line 7.
Okay, line
guys,
seven.
Read the text real quick.
Okay,
and then-
read the text.
In a nutshell, they didn't tell their parents they were going on a 4-day cruise. It ended up being the poop cruise. They got stuck out to
No way.
sea.
They're in the floating carnival.
The only reason their parents found out is because they're the emergency contact. The cruise line had to call them and tell them they're stuck out
They're
to
on
sea.
the news.
Oh, my
God.
God.
I know it's when things go wrong. You're in a place
What a
you
way to
shouldn't
get
be, and then
caught.
things
That's
go
almost
wrong.
like 4 Christmases. Remember when
my
Reese and
God.
Vince are at the airport?
You got caught.
Okay, so what did you do as a teen that would make you lose your marbles if your teen did it today? Becky, tell us your story and tell us
Hello.
the age you were in this story. Good morning.
14, 8th grade, junior high.
Okay.
It was after track practice,
Okay.
2:30, and I was supposed to ride home with my girlfriends. I told the mom I already had a ride. I lied to her because there was a boy on the track team that I kind of liked, so I wanted to hang out and chat with him. Realized I had to be home at a certain time. before my mom got home. And so I started walking, and trying to get home, which was probably a 20-minute walk. And a guy in a white van, no windows.
Oh, another white van.
I seen him, yes, drove by, and he came back by again, and he said, hey, he said, do you need a ride? I'm like, yes, and my mom's going to kill me. I need to get home.
Oh, my God.
So we're driving on the way, and there's a dirt road, pebble road, and he veers off, and I'm in the front seat because there's all tools in the back.
Oh, God.
And right when he turned, I looked, and he just smiled, and he was kind of spitting up.
Ooh.
I opened the door, and I rolled out. I wasn't even thinking about what
You
I
did a
did.
leap out of a moving vehicle.
You just rolled out.
Yes. And I rolled out, and it took me for a second to realize what happened. My elbows were bleeding, my kneecaps, and I was just kind of running back towards the main street, and he just took off. So I'm walking, crying, and cars are going by, and then some police stopped, and they're like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I need a ride home. So they're kind of asking me, so I'm lying. I'm like, I fell that track.
Well, you
You just fell out of a truck.
Wait,
You didn't
hold
tell
on,
them
hold
the
on.
truth?
Just real quick, Becky, at 14 years old, your gut instinct, you listened to it, thank God. The man creepily smiled at you, taking you down a dirt road. Why did you lie to the cops about the white van? I would have told the cops,
I don't know.
this man gave me a ride.
Yeah, they tell their mom and
My
dad.
parents.
Yeah,
so
they're
I
just thinking
said,
about the
I had a
punishment.
bad accident. I said, I got to get home. I'm already late.
Oh, my God, you're making my stomach
So-
turn.
So I said, please, can you drop me off that stop sign? Please don't pull up to my house. And they're like, okay, well, where do you live? So I gave them the address, but I said, but don't go there. They're like, okay. So they dropped me off at the stop sign.
That's nice.
And I'm going, wow, how nice. Well, tell my mom, and she's like, what the heck happened to you? I'm like, oh, my God, it's a bad accident. I fell over at the track beneath the hurdles, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to get home. And
Man, you were really scared of your
that
parents.
evening, she gets a phone call like, she got a ride from the police.
Oh, you thought you were home free.
No.
The cops called?
And so they ended up coming over, and they told the story. They're like, your daughter said she fell, blah, blah, blah. Well, they called the school. They're like, there's no report of her falling and stuff.
Oh, this got worse.
Oh, the cops ratted you out.
And then
I did the report. I did a sketch of what he looked like. This was a border town, and the sketch, and months later, they called my parents and said they had been looking for this guy because he had been kidnapping and raping women.
Oh, my God.
this is insane. Becky,
Yeah.
you are making all of the
Yeah.
hair on my all of my
So as a
arms and my neck stand
14-year-old,
up.
That is
your
what
intuition.
My arms do is I tell her this. I never told my girls. I've got a 25 and 27-year-old. Never, ever, ever told them that.
Why do you
story.
think you never told them? Why? Because a lot of times
I don't
parents
know,
want to
because
scare our kids.
How stupid were you? Because
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, they know if they go out to a bar not to drink.
No,
unless,
never leave
they
your
buy
drink
their own
unattended.
drink.
Okay.
They know all that stuff.
Okay,
so
Becky,
they'd be
here-
like, how stupid were you?
So listen, here's a question. Let me ask you this, because and there's a real parent question I have for you, because this is way too hard for me. Like this story is hitting way too hard. The fact that you lived
Oh, my
every
God.
parent's nightmare of what we tell our kids to try to avoid. You did all of this
And survived.
and continue to lie because of your fear of the punishment of your parents of not getting home on
Yes.
time. I am
Getting
raising
grounded.
my children right now to tell them, if you don't tell me and we don't know, we can't help you.
Right,
We are more
right.
worried about you being safe than being scared of whatever our reaction is going to be.
I'm glad to hear that.
So
Right.
growing up,
Right.
as you're raising your children, and this happened to you.
This was like 79.
Well, I know, but
You
I'm
know?
saying
wow,
as a
this is a long
mother,
time ago.
raising
Yeah.
your children, not using that experience to tell your own daughters, did you word it to them ever to like, listen, guys, I don't care what you think the consequence is going to be, whatever the situation is, you've got to call me. Did that work? I mean, how did
Yes.
you parent them without
as they
giving them that
got
story?
Because I've been a single mom for 20 years, so I've been raising them since they were 5 and 7.
Uh-huh.
And I always told them, tell me the truth, no matter what. I get upset, disappointed. I can get over that. But if you lie to me, oh my gosh,
Then there's problems.
you find a new family. You will be out this door. And they were like, Mom, you were joking. I'm like, test me. I'm like, you will be at the orphanage.
The orphanage.
If you lie to me,
Yep.
like you tell the truth no matter what. Don't worry about my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
If I catch you lying, it's going to be worse.
It's like
10 times worse if you lie to me and I find out the truth.
there's a
And
video
I've
going
always
on.
put the fear in them.
There's a video going out right now where the
Yeah.
guy said, if my kids call me at 1 a.m. and they're drunk and they're at a party,
Right.
I'll go there and pick
Right.
them up.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
definitely.
he tells the kids, I'm not going to punish you because I don't want them drunk driving. I don't want them doing stuff.
Or getting in a car with some
But if I
stranger.
find out you were driving with a drunk kid,
then you're in trouble.
Oh my God, you're in trouble.
I'm glad that you have
will
that.
survive that. Because
Yeah.
that is terrifying. You've terrified everybody who heard that story. I mean, I'm so glad that your instincts
I
got
think
you to
about
roll
it
out of
from
that
time
van.
to time. I was just worried my mom was going to go, what were you doing? And if she found out I stayed after practice to talk to this boy, oh my God, that would have been
Girl,
a
you would have
million
ended up in the
worse.
Texas killing fields on Netflix.
I've seen that. That old school way of parenting is actually more dangerous to the kids. I think that Roula, myself, and Eric, we all have the same views as far as parenting. I told my daughter growing up, I said, look, I know things happen. I was your age once. And if you find yourself wasted, you're at a party or you're in a bar or something,
I'm not condoning it.
call me.
Yeah.
I do not wanting you and I don't care if your friend's going to drive you home. I don't want a drunk driving you anywhere.
Yep.
Just call me. We won't worry about punishment.
I know that crap. We'll have we're going to have a talk. But
Yes.
We're not going to, because that's what they're scared of.
I mean, you gotta
This is
look at that
terrifying.
scale. Like, oh, am I justifying teen drinking or anything? Like, no. I just wanted to make sure that she was never put in that situation.
Okay, but listen, you, Becky really taught us something about the mind of a 14-year-old that we might forget about being
You're so
having been
scared about your
14.
parents.
The fear, it's tunnel vision. All she could think about was, I'm not going to get home on time. I'm going to be in trouble because I stayed for this boy, blah, blah, blah. Even to the cops who found her after she saved herself from a killer.
And why'd the cops do that?
She's still, I'm surprised the
Cop
cops
just
didn't
decided
say.
to rat her out.
You should have at least just taken her up to the house then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if any cop today listening, if you'd found that girl, would have said, yeah, okay, I'll listen to you and not tell your parents.
I don't
We'll
think
just
they
call
can.
them later.
Especially they all have those cameras now.
Yeah, you have to
Oh,
go to the
yeah.
door and say, I found your child. She's injured.
They should.
100%.
But you-
because look, the sketch that she gave turned out that guy was a rapist killer.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Okay, we have a lot of calls, so that's it. Becky has filled my brain. It hurts. And I just
What
need
we
you
learned?
guys to come.
White vans.
The white van. Okay, 713-278-VENT. That is our phone number for the listener line. Leave us your messages there about anything related to this. And the question originally was, what did you lie about as a teen that you would lose your marbles if your own teen lied to you about it today? And that's what you're going to save. Coming up next, vacation is on our minds. And some people have planned trips to the beach or the mountains. And some plan cruises. Kevin and Eric.
God.
I am not a cruiser. Ryan has cruised, but not a cruiser.
No, I'm
the
not a
cruisers
cruiser.
are Kevin and Eric.
Yep.
There is a man who is your
You've never
spirit
done it,
animal.
Roula. Ryan's never done it right.
Well, I did it like back in the 90s, and it's a
You-
completely
yeah.
different game
But you
now.
had a bad experience because of your fault.
Yeah,
If
because
you
I
like
was,
cruises-
because I got married.
Or you dislike cruises. Oh my God. You got to hear from this guy next on the Roula and Ryan
Maybe
Show
that was a
with Eric.
sign.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Wake up. It's KRBE and more of the Roula and Ryan Show with Aaron.
We usually do Scoop here, brought to you by Taqueria Arandas. But, as we all browse our phones all day long, you get things in your algorithm. You don't even know why they come to you. I have never been on a cruise. I was supposed to be on one trip. And we
Well, I'll be
canceled
getting
last
ads
minute.
now.
Yeah, I know. And there's a guy who I feel like is the spirit animal for Special K and Eric who love to cruise.
I think this guy is more of a carnival guy because he was mentioning some things in his
Carnival cruise line guy.
Yeah.
Not carnival,
Yeah.
like rodeo carnival.
No, yeah, carnival
Not
cruise
a carny.
line.
He's a carnival cruise liner guy.
Yeah, because he mentioned something in his little rant about
Okay.
the carnival world.
So if
'Cause
you would-
carnival's more of a party. Can be some crazy stuff going down.
Okay.
Oh, really?
On those ships. A lot
What's
of
the
people like-
higher end?
I
like
would
What's
the-
the
tell people-
hoity-toity one?
I mean, I think the middle of the road, the good one, they're all good. We're all Caribbeans, always solid. I tell people Norwegians, there's MSC or whatever that is.
MSC is probably
That's
going to be
coming-
more buttoned up, more
Yeah.
adult
Okay.
But
oriented.
Carnival's like you going for fun, like spring break. There's
What's
like
called
two
the-
ships.
The fun ship.
Yeah, there's
The
one
fun
here.
ship, that's right.
That's cheaper, and it's just a smaller ship. And then the one I went on spring break was some Jubilee. It's a really huge.
It's like a
6,000
floating
people.
city.
Yeah, but there's some crazy stuff that happens on these ships.
So I thought since it's vacation time, people might be trying to figure out what they want to do. This guy can make you want to book a cruise or not book a
And when
cruise.
you sent this to me, I laughed because the stuff he was saying, Kevin was so right on about when you watch these guys do the hairiest back contest, or belly flops. It's so
awkward.
white
That
trash.
actually happens?
It's so white trashy. I love it. It's like
There's
that
a
takes me back
hairiest
home.
back contest on a cruise ship?
That's just one of the many contests that they
Oh,
have.
God.
Those cruise directors are really good, I must say. And I think I missed my calling.
You would have been great.
I really probably should have done that. But however, you are away from your family for 6 months at a time.
Oh.
You
Right,
know,
to
when
be a
you're
performer
stuck out
or-
at
Well, don't
sea.
you remember my
Staffer.
cousin Cody was working for a cruise
Yeah,
ship for a
it's
while?
hard to be away from your
Until
family.
something happened. We don't know what happened, and they
Uh-oh.
sent him home from some foreign
I've been
country.
on around 15 or 16 cruises, about to go on number 17 this summer.
Oh, my God.
And I've never heard this audio before, but here we go.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to be deploying. I'm going to
No,
be
that's not
swimming.
it. That's Tom Cruise.
No, that's Tom Cruise.
Like Tom Cruise on a cruise?
Hey, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise on a cruise.
cruise people. Yeah, I saw Tom Cruise and then Cruise. Oh, my God.
Well, it's spelled the same way.
Stupid. Like,
funny.
so
That's
stupid.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, not regular
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise.
Good job.
All right, wrong audio file.
right.
The other Cruise, not Tom Cruise.
Now I got it.
The cruise
Hole
guy.
or whatever.
There are two kinds of people in this world. Cruise people and people who think they're better than cruise people. And to that I say, go eat your sad airport salad in peace, Brittany. Meanwhile, I'm getting sunburned next to a man called Margarita Mike who hasn't worn a shirt since we left Miami, and I trust him with my life. And yes, I am cruise people. I have the lanyard. I've memorized the guy's burger bar hours like it's scripture.
Guys.
I have a towel animal in my cabin that I refer to as my son. I have cried during a bingo game, accidentally punched a grandma during trivia, and cheered for a man in jorts on the Lido deck trying to do the worm like it was a Broadway revival. I am feral, unhinged, but absolutely thriving, baby. But I am not lying to myself. Cruise people are culty. We will wake up at 6 a.m. for a deck chair, but not for our jobs. We'll eat 4 lobster tails and then say, we're just pacing ourselves. We'll drop $300 to pet a dolphin and cry like we met Beyonce. We spend 2 days in Cozumel and suddenly we're like, I could live here. No, you couldn't. You still think pesos are monopoly money and you got sunburned under your chin. Non-cruise people are always like, I just don't think I could be stuck somewhere with strangers for a week. Girl, you live in a city with a 45-minute brunch wait and a $19 mimosa. Meanwhile, I'm out here living my best life with unlimited shrimp and a guy named Rico Suave teaching salsa by the pool. That's why I'm trapped. Us cruise people feel deeply. We feel buffet joy. We feel pina colada peace. We feel the wind of the open ocean and the judgment of our friends who say, didn't you just go on a cruise? Yes, I did. And I'm going again. Because nothing heals the soul like a steel drum version of Don't Stop Believing while your thighs fuse to a pool chair in international waters. So yes, I am a cruise goblin. A floating fiesta gremlin. And I love it. Because the only thing more unhinged than a cruise ship is pretending you're above it. Find your joy.
Oh my God, that
Joy.
guy's
So it's
awesome.
Gregisms. People are saying that's
Gregisms,
the-
yeah.
the
So
one
does
that-
he do
Gregisms.
other topics as
He
well?
yeah, he must do a bunch. But
Okay.
he's so right on, man. He's right though. People always that's their thing. Oh, I feel trapped on the.
4 lobster tails and you're just pacing yourself.
You go to the Galleria. There's thousands of people there too, everywhere.
That
Yeah, but
bingo.
there's a way
I
out.
could go home. Well,
The
go to your
bingo
cabin.
is so serious, and I have definitely felt that pain where you want to cry after the bingo game because you're so close.
Or the
And-
pub trivia, you go there like they have a Taylor Swift one I saw once, or movies.
punched a grandma
And
in trivia.
They had a Friends one once. I remember, man, I never realized so many people know.
Really into
And
it.
there's some
Yeah.
people that are
I
such
got-
jerks, cocky.
Publicly booed at the last trivia one that we did because it was a song pop trivia, and it was very easy.
You
So I
jumped
knew
in?
I knew all of it.
So
and
you
then
got
at
booed
the,
because you knew too much?
well, at the end, everyone's like, "What the hell? Why
Let
do you
other
know
people
all these
play."
Weird
Oh, they thought you were a
songs?"
ringer. They thought you were a ringer or
Yeah.
something?
I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm a
You do
DJ.
the- you
I'm
write
sorry.
Did radio for like decades.
You write them down, and then
Yeah.
they go, okay, and then they do the answers. Who had this many? And then it's like honor system.
it was all-
Say,
Oh,
say
okay.
out loud, I'm
They see.
sorry, I'm a DJ. Boo! No! Boo for him!
Oh my God, that's
Well, you
so
are
funny.
a ringer.
Being
Right,
a
I guess
cruiser.
so.
Just real quick, we have our friend Tiffany from the Hair Center was visiting today with her girls because it's summertime, and I know they're going to get out of here, but it's one of these things like, hey, bring your kids to work
Yeah.
day. That's next Tuesday for me and Eric. Bring your children to work. Today, Tiffany brought her children to work. Tiffany, hi, welcome back to the Roula.
Hey, hop on
that mic.
Eric.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Good to see you
And we're
again.
not here to talk about the Hair Center, but you can go to thehaircenter.org
That is
for all the
correct.
things you need in your life
Everything you
about
need.
mental health, help, and
Yes,
all.
ma'am.
But this is really about your kids today.
It is about them today.
And did they want to say hi before you have to skedaddle out of
You
here?
want to
Hey,
say
guys.
hi?
Yeah, you gotta say
Okay,
hi.
hold on. Don't
All right.
be-
Say your
don't
name
be
and your age and all that
ridiculous.
good stuff.
Hi,
What's your
Oh,
name?
you guys say your name.
my name's Addison, and
How old are you?
I'm 11.
And do you want to say hi to anybody that might be listening to this podcast later since they're asleep because it's summer break? Which one of your friends is asleep right now that you're going to say, listen to the podcast? I was on the radio today and I said hi to, or your family or your grandma or whoever you got in your life.
What about your
Not your mom. She's right here.
Hello, teammates.
You want to
teammates.
butter
Hi.
anybody up?
You play
Tell 'em-
softball, right?
Tell them the
Addie?
team name.
Oh, Bombers.
The
Hello, Bombers.
Hello, Bombers.
Bummers.
Y'all play all
Bombers
summer
hook.
long? Addie, y'all play all summer long? Oh, that
Oh,
sounds.
wow.
Really refreshing in the heat.
But you got to talk, though. You can't nod. It's radio.
Right. Hi, what's your name, sweetie?
I'm Madeline Mittner.
Adeline?
Madeline.
No,
Madeline.
Madeline. I don't know why I missed the M on that.
Okay.
Madeline? Yes, hi. How old are you?
13.
Do you also play softball?
No, ma'am.
No, you don't. Do you want to say hi to anybody that you think probably is asleep right now and you're going to tell them later you're on the radio?
Yeah, you blew it. You weren't listening.
Yeah.
I'll say hi to my father and my grandparents because my Gammy likes to sleep and so does my dad.
Okay,
and
nice.
my sister, Emmy.
All right, bravo.
Aw.
Well, thanks for coming
nice.
on in. And what about Georgia?
I love that Stroh's
The reason I remember
shirt,
Georgia's
jersey.
name is because you don't hear that as often, and I love that name. And I
Yes.
have a family member named Georgia that I
I'm
love.
Georgia Dale, and
Hi,
I'm
Georgia.
14.
And do you want
Georgia.
to say hi to anybody, Georgia?
My mom and my dad.
Okay, great. Do you play softball or any sports this
No,
summer?
ma'am.
Nothing?
I was playing volleyball, but now I'm just
Volleyball's
doing
fun.
cheer for high school.
All
What are you
right.
doing during summertime? Just hanging out? Or
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you guys are going where today?
The Lagoon.
Lagoon Fest.
Yeah, Lagoon
Fest,
Fest.
Texas.
Oh, nice.
Then go chill out at the lagoon.
Let me tell you something a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Tiffany's like, I'm going to the heat.
I
with
left
three
the
girls.
baby at home for a reason.
Yeah.
I have never seen a more dedicated mom.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
here she is, like getting in the car, driving across different states to go to all these softball tournaments.
You're a sports club mom. That's you're in that
road
world.
tripping. The road trip conversation was right up my alley earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can feel this in my soul.
How many fights our kids
They're
are
going
going
to
to
appreciate it when they're older, too. They're going to look back and go, man.
Are y'all going to
Y'all hear
appreciate
that?
mom?
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, I think,
You're going to remember this
I
one
bet they
day.
appreciate you now, but I think they'll really appreciate
Oh,
it.
well, thank you.
When they
I love
realize how
doing
much
it.
time you actually take out of your own life to
Oh, I
do
appreciate
that
Are you
stuff.
one of those moms that have the cowbell? Like, make the noise. Like, ding, 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 ding.
No,
And-
actually, I was.
You're done.
No, I don't do the cowbell, but I will say we have a certain cheer
Yelling?
that I do the woohoo at the end. So I have my own.
What's the cheer? Can you all do the cheer?
Yeah, what's the cheer?
And mom can do the woo.
It's the 2 down, 1 to go one.
How's that go?
So anytime they get it out, they'll basically go, 2 down, 1 to go, go Bombers, go, and then I'll go woo. Like at the end, like really loud. So and it kind of depends on my mood, Like if it's a good day, I'll be really loud, and if it's not, I'm kind of like woo.
Yeah, my
All right.
girls played softball, and I was really surprised at how much smack talk jingling there was in the cage.
So some of
there's
these-
so many
Some of them
cheers.
talk about toilets and I'm like, y'all, like,
What are y'all
are we-
talking about?
Oh, there's new one
Skibbity.
that's. Yeah,
Skibbity
they'll
toilet.
say there's a new one that, like, when the coach goes to the mound, to if it's a boy coach, they'll be like, boys in the ladies' room, ew, ew. What? And then-
Madeline seems to know these cheers.
Oh, they all
Madeline,
know them.
Tell us one of the cheers from
Yeah,
the.
what's one?
When one of the cheers that you're always doing in the
Your chance.
stands, or your sister's always doing.
Yeah, what do you think's the funniest one?
Addie, what cheer?
Which cheer is it, Addison?
Me?
You and Madeline. Which one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hurry.
The funniest one is probably
Get closer to the mic, sweetie.
the funniest one is probably boys in the ladies' room.
And then Addison, what's your favorite one?
I don't know.
But there are a lot. I mean, I've been at softball games where these girls don't be. They're
All
not
we
quiet.
had was, we just, the whole group would be swing, bada, 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 swing.
Oh, yeah,
swing.
no, that is so elementary.
Yeah, we did that
Yeah.
back in the day, and then
now
we
it's-
want a pitcher, not a belly itcher.
Oh, no, I'll tell you.
belly itcher.
The best is the leave.
Oh, now they're doing it.
There's one about leave the worms alone, or there was a worm. His name was Fred, and now he's dead. It's all your fault because if a pitcher pitches in the dirt,
Oh,
so
they're-
they'll say leave the worms alone.
They're taunting them.
God,
Killed
I'm
the worms.
trolling them. Wow, happy softball seasoning.
For the low pitches, and it goes. I don't know. It's like
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, you got it.
That's
You got it.
It's all right.
Show, we gotta go.
It's
We gotta go.
Friday
Let's
free
see
for
it.
all times. Okay, Addison and Madeline. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Why am I saying Addison and Madison? I'm going to say Madison. I
Because
don't
we're
know
so
what.
used to kids' name now.
Yeah, and Georgia, thanks so much for listening to the show.
Go have
Tiffany,
fun
thanks for
today.
them. Go have fun at Lagoon Fest, Texas. Wear lots of sunscreen. Do not get sunburned. It will ruin the rest of your summer.
Yep.
Wear lots of sunscreen.
All right, you guys ready?
Who wants to party?
Friday free for all is next with Special K on the Roula and